but I approach Black love with an optimism. I approach Black love with a purpose and an intention to say that we can display and we can show our version of love, because Black people, period, is special. And then when you mix our love together and when you mix what we have to offer and the magic that we make together as a people, when we do it from healed places and when we do it from a place of like we worked on ourselves and all the different things,
Calling all of my Black girls.
Welcome to Purple's Conversations, a Black girl's conversation about faith, soul, and my opinion. Hey everybody, it's Ty, and I am so happy to be back for episode 2 of Purple Conversations. In this episode, we are talking about a series that I started. It's called To Love a Black Man. It's a series that I just thought about. I was talking with a girlfriend one day, and I was just talking to her about loving a Black man and about how I just wanted to, it's just within me to just love a Black man, like mind, body, spirit, and soul. And we were just talking about just some of everything. And basically, I came up with the idea with her. Well, she kind of suggested some things, and then it was like, yeah, whatever. So basically, let's get into it. I think I want to do a 3 series, or maybe 4 series episode on just to love a Black man. And really, I want to talk about what helped me or started my Black love experience or started my Black love journey. And that was through movies. I'm a movie fan. I love movies. My specific genre that I really love is romantic comedies, actually. But just, throughout my life, movies have just been something that have centered me, have been etched in stone. They basically started my fairy tale. So nevertheless, let's get into it, right? In the 90s, there were 2 movies that really started my journey into Black love, because by this time I'm like 11 and 12 years old when these 2 movies came out. And the 2 movies I'm speaking of is Poetic Justice, which came out in 1993, and then Jason's Lyric, which came out the next year after that, in 1994. So around this time, I'm just now getting into discovering boys and really starting to see boys and like boys and have romantic feelings for boys and all this other stuff. So I remember, I can't recall with Jason's Lyric. Let's start off with Poetic Justice. So I can't recall if I went to the movies to see Poetic Justice, or if I was at home and it was on cable, or I saw it on DVD. But I just remember watching it, and I remember just loving it immediately, and seeing Tupac and that big smile like come across his face as he was trying to holler at Justice, or Janet Jackson's character. So it was Lucky and Justice. And I just remember seeing them and was just like, wow, that's cute, It also kind of reminded me of home, like I'm from Chicago. For those that don't know, if you're listening to me from other parts of the world or country, and I'm from Chicago, even though the movie was set in South Central LA, just the ghetto-ness of it, right, reminded me of home, reminded me of that it is some hood boys, that believe in love and like love. And, Lucky, he was disrespectful. He used the B word and just all this other stuff. But it was like as their love unfolded on the screen, it was just like you could see the sensitivity of him, and you could see you saw parts of his ego and how she came off and she was a little bit bougie in his perspective, but she was coming off the death of her boyfriend, so she's kind of guarded and things like that or whatever, and he didn't know that. So all he sees is this person that in his mind who he see as this woman that appears to have like a standard about herself or an air about herself. And I think he internally understood that he had to come correct a certain way, but it was like the ego was there because he like this hood guy, whatever. And for me, it was like seeing that movie, it really etched in my soul and solidified that I just like me a hood, like romantic guy. That's crazy. But just that type of on-screen like chemistry as you see it, it's like they're both like liking each other. They're both seeing each other. They're both like, it started off rocky and the chemistry was there, but because of what they had going on differently within their own personal lives, it kind of was like conflicting with each other, in a sense. So I just remember just watching it as a little girl and just laughing about it, but just loving the movie. Okay, you know what Lucky taught me early on is something that kind of stayed in my brain, like just having a sense of humor in relationships, laughing about things. Like it was parts of that when they was arguing, especially when they first got into it, when they first got in on the post the mail truck, and they was arguing. It was like F you, F you, F you, F you, right? And but that was such a hilarious scene. So it's just like even now in my current relationships, like if I'm in relationship with somebody and we argue or something, me and a boyfriend or whatever, and we argue, like I just start laughing because it's just something about having a sense of humor within a relationship, even in disagreements, right? So then we go to Jason's lyric. Now, Jason's lyric, I remember watching this movie. Now I'm a little older. I'm a year older watching this movie, and I'm looking at this man who is like this protector. He got to protect everybody. He had to protect his little brother. He had to protect his mother from the father, from the drunken father and all that. And he was very sensitive, and he was just, he was aware of the care that he had to take for everybody. And I remember when he saw Lyric and he came across her, and he was just like, wow, like, just enthralled in who she was. And she gave this just very just poetic line, hey, if it's meant to be, you'll find me, when he was trying to be with her or whatever, or when he was trying to get her number. And when he ended up seeing her again at the place where she worked at the soul food restaurant, and then he's like, hey, I found you or whatever. And it was just like something about her made him see himself, because he started to see like, she's showing me things I've never seen before. She's a different kind of girl. I've never met a girl like her before. It was just everything about her allowed him or made him open himself up to who he is. And so to love a Black man, for me, it's like I always think about these movies, and not so much so in the dramatic sense, but just like it's something that I can't really explain, because it's like you have to watch them for yourself and get your own little bit of inspiration that you get from it. But it was just like, even with Jason's lyric, something deep inside of me that I got from that movie, that it was like always it made me have a sensitivity to the male ego, like just always being sensitive. Like the way I feel about a Black man is the one that I'm meant to be with. It's just like I want to be his safe space. I want to be the person that just that melts him. You know, he comes in my presence and I'm just like his healing space, his safe space, and all that. And not to say that things aren't going to go wrong, because these movies definitely showed us that things can go wrong and go off in relationships, and you're going to have your ups and downs and your ebbs and flows of love and in and out of love and all of those other things. But it's just um, the sheer love of or display of Black love that really just got a hold of me, and how it just felt authentic, and how it didn't feel, even though it was a fairy tale of you wanting somebody to come find you or whatever it is, but it was just like, okay, this is more realistic to me, because these are guys from the hood. They common people just like me, and they still believe in love. They still believe in romance. They still believe in relationship, right? Because I grew up in a home where I didn't have a father, in the household where I saw my mother in um, a long-term relationship with anybody. And so seeing that on-screen love um, started my journey of wanting that for myself, you know, living in a movie, living in the love of a movie. So I just think about, like, even now, like so one thing that, so thinking about Jason's lyric, one thing lyric taught me was to speak to a man through my eyes. It's one scene in Jason's lyric where, after they had the big little argument from the day, I think that day they had they was at the carnival, and Jason's brother came in and got on the ride with them and was acting all crazy or whatever. And they had a little tough, about what his brother was doing. But then she came to the shop where he was working, and it was just like, it was no words that they shared. She just came in the door. It was raining, and she looked at him, and he looked at her, and it was just like her eyes just spoke to him. Whatever was said in the silence, he understood it, and she understood it. And that's kind of like the energy that I like to possess when I'm with my man. Like, just letting my eyes in certain situations speak the words that I can't say, speak the words that my heart can say, but he understands me, and we just get into this like passionate love making. Like, that's how my mind works. That's how my mind goes when I'm with somebody, and then even in Poetic Justice, it's like watching that movie. It gave me a fascination about the way a man's mouth moves, and just looking at his lips, and looking at the way his tongue moves when he is speaking to me, and just really being captivated by a man's presence. Like, I think Black men are just the most um, special human beings on the planet. I love a Black man. It's just something about a Black man. And my endeavor in this life is to have a healthy relationship with a Black man, to show a Black man that it's okay to be loved. It's okay to let somebody love you. I understand what you've been going through out here on these streets. I understand how this world can chew you up and spit you out, but I want you to come home, and your home with me is your safe haven. You can come and let me heal you. You can come and let me be your protector. You could come and allow me to just make you feel special. And I, even though I've been married and divorced, and I think I displayed a bit of that, but yet, circumstances, whatever, so that didn't work out. But I still felt that way. I still, I just want a Black man to know that he's loved. There's a lot of women out here. There's a lot of Black women that really sincerely and purely love a Black man. And even though Black men get these bad raps, from different things that goes on in social media with certain cheating situations and all this other stuff, I really don't look at it. I approach Black love more optimistically, if that's a word, but I approach Black love with an optimism. I approach Black love with a purpose and an intention to say that we can display and we can show our version of love, because Black people, period, is special. And then when you mix our love together and when you mix what we have to offer and the magic that we make together as a people, when we do it from healed places and when we do it from a place of like we worked on ourselves and all these different things, So that's just what I have to say about episode 1 of the series of To Love a Black Man. This is just me. This is the first episode. Is just me really talking about just what I felt about Black love. And just what I felt about Black love and how it started for me. This is just the beginning. When I do episode 2, I'll be more in depth about some things. But this is how it started. It started from 2 movies, 2 couples. One started off very rocky. One started off very just explosive, but it built up. And you saw a progression of vulnerability between 2 people, because Lucky helped Justice love again. He helped her find love again. Justice helped Lucky think outside of his own perspective and his own self to say, you know what? Let me change some things about myself. Even with his nails, he looked at his nails at the end of the movie and he remembered Justice. And then when we get to Jason's lyric, it was like, this man was able to find himself all because this woman wasn't afraid to be herself. You mean she's telling this man, meet me up at a bridge, a broken down bridge, whatever. And he like, what kind of mess is this? Like, he playing it off at first, he laughing about it. He making jokes about it at first because he don't understand it. But then even when he was talking to his mother, he was, his mother recognized, something different about this girl because she making you ask different type of questions. And he was like, yeah, she's showing me things I've never seen before. And it's like, that's how I want to be, I want to be able to show a Black man, things that he's never seen before. And I want him to do the same thing for me, and we just be this beautiful essence of love. That's my endeavor. So yes, that's episode 1 of the series, To Love a Black Man. I'm going to get more in depth into the series in episodes 2 and 3 and possibly 4. But that's just the start off of how I was introduced to the idea of sincerely loving a Black man. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you all next week.
Thank you for tuning into Circle Purple Conversations. I enjoy talking to you all. As a certified life coach, I have a great passion to help women design a happy and fulfilling life. I endeavor to help you discover change and unlock your greatness. I like to say I'm an advocate for your potential. That's why I created 3 awesome journals to get you started on that path. The first journal is Busy and Not Broke, breaking the cycle of being overworked and underpaid. This is a strategic planner and journal for my entrepreneurs and creatives. The second journal is Over It, a Black Girl's Burn Book, Lessons Learned. With this journal, it allows you to process those negative experiences so that you are not bound to them and you can be free. The third journal is In Love, Me, Myself, and I, a journal about being in love with yourself and helping you stay there. You can purchase all three journals on the CIRCAPURPLE website, circapurple.com/624life. That's circapurple.com/SIX24LIFE. Right now, I'm holding a special promotion or 2 and get 1 free with the code FREELIFE. That's FREELIFE.